Okay, today it is stats, and I would like you to draw this. This is something that you have to make. It's probably the first time you've ever had to make what's called a box and whisker, or a box plot. So if this was about shoe size in here, I would say the smallest shoe size anybody probably has is a size 5. And we're not going to ask because I don't want to embarrass anybody like, oh my gosh, you have tiny feet or whatever. But no, I think the biggest is probably a 14. I don't know. There could be some with a 15, whatever. Usually people with big feet are proud of it. People with small feet are like ashamed of it, so I don't want to ask. But I'm just going to pick those as the smallest and the biggest. Do you get that those make sense? They're on the ends. All right? Then the thing in the middle, you would think it'd be the average, but it's not. I know that in this classroom, it's very likely that the average shoe size and the middle shoe size are pretty close to each other. This has what's called the median, which is the middle. I'd like you to draw this out and write median, or just abbreviate with MED, M-E-D. Median. And I really need you to get the difference between a median and an average. And I'm going to show you that off on the side for a second. Now, you don't have to write this part down, just pay attention. Let's say that you had 3 friends. Now, let's go with 5 friends. And let's just go with how much money is in their pockets. 2 people have nothing. One person has $8, another has $20, and another is walking around with this huge wad of money, and you think it's $500. All right. With those 5 numbers, if I average them, do you get this is going to throw off the average? All of a sudden, it looks like everybody's got lots of money. But the middle number is 8. And it doesn't matter if I made this 1,500. The middle number would still be 8. Even if the one person had $1 million, which is pretty much impossible to have in your pocket, but it would still be 8. My point is the median is the middle number, and it doesn't get affected by really big numbers. All right, so this money in your pocket thing, you can relate to that. How about this? You all live somewhere. You live in an apartment or you live in a house. Let's just imagine that you live in a house, and in your neighborhood, they told you, yeah, the average person in your neighborhood is a multimillionaire. And you'd be like, no, they aren't. These people probably have a net worth, including their house, of like $200,000. These people have $250,000. Again, this is because they own houses. Those are worth a lot. And there's one person in your neighborhood with $50 million. Is that actually possible? It is absolutely possible, especially because of a little thing called crypto. Back when I was starting teaching, it didn't even exist. I was well into teaching, and all of a sudden, for the first time, I heard about this thing called Bitcoin. Do you get if at that moment I would have bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin? I'd be worth $50 million right now. Just $1,000 of Bitcoin. Because when it first came out, it was worth like pennies. They were just nothing. They were just like kind of a joke. Like Bitcoins, that's going to never be worth anything. And now Bitcoins are $100,000 each. And you could have bought them literally like 3 for a quarter. 25 cents for 3 Bitcoins. It was ridiculously cheap. All right, so more of the story. There could be somebody in your neighborhood right now who has $50 million because they just bought Bitcoin back in the day. And they just were like, I'll try that. I'll buy $20 worth. $20 wouldn't be 50 million, but you could have easily have $50 million of Bitcoin. But my point, that one person throws off the average a ton, but it doesn't throw off the middle person. The middle person still had this. So the median is actually way better than the average. Now, I spent a lot of time on that. You need to understand the difference. Median, middle. I'm going to give you a one-word description of each. Please write that down. Median is the middle one. Mean is the average. How do you get an average? You add them all up and divide by something. Sam, you still have a headphone in. I think you forgot it there. And then the mode is the one that happened the most. So if I asked you and I said, like, how many of you have size 9 shoes? I'm actually curious. How many of you guys have size 9 shoes? It's a really common one. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many have size 10 shoes? How about size 11 shoes? Ooh, way more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that might be the biggest. Then, size 11 was the mode. It happened the most. So whatever happens the most, that's the mode. So that's mean, median, mode. All right, now back to this thing. Because this part, I don't think most of you have done before, and it's a box plot. And it uses the median, which is the middle number. I think the middle number in this class, for the middle number for shoe size, is going to be a 9. I don't know that. I haven't done the data. If I asked every single one of you and put it in the calculator, it would tell me what the median was. But if I just listed them all, it would be the middle one. Okay. Then, here's something I know that nobody in here knows. I'll prove it. Write Q1 and Q3 here. Can anybody describe what Q1 and Q3 are? It's on your next test. Ooh, maybe he does. What do you know?
Q1 is greater than 5 but less than 9.
Okay, you're telling me something that's true. It's going to be between 5 and 9, but that doesn't tell me really what it is. I mean, there's a lot of numbers between 5 and 9. So you're not wrong, but that's not the actual definition of Q1. Anybody know what Q1 is, besides a number between 5 and 9? You weren't actually that far off. It's the median between 5 and 9. It's like the middle of the bottom section. It's like what's in the middle of these two. See what I mean? And then this is like what's in the middle of the top half. All right, so I'm going to say if we typed in all your shoe sizes and we did it, your calculator would say that this would be like 8.5. This would be like 10. Now, this bothers a lot of people. They're like, what, but this is only 1/2 away. It's like 8.5 to 9. That's only a difference of a half. And this one's a difference of a whole. They don't have to be symmetrical like that. Don't expect them to be. All right. Now, if I just gave you the test right this second, you could probably already pass 3 of the questions. If I gave you this and I asked you, here, wait a minute, I should do this first. If I asked you to tell me what all 5 of those numbers are, could you? If you could, you can answer at least 3 of the questions on the test. So what is the 5? It's the lowest number, also known as the minimum. What's the 14? The maximum, or the biggest number. What's this one? Median, very good. What's this one?
The median of 5 and 9.
It is, but this got a name.
Q1.
Q1, very good. And this other one? Q3. There you go, good. You know those 5 numbers. That's called the 5-number summary. If you give that to a stats master, they can tell you a ton about the group of data that you have. They can tell you, like, if this is about your shoe sizes, if you just tell them that info, they know pretty much everything about you. And they'd be able to say, like, if you just told one person and you said, well, I have size 11 shoes and I'm in that class, they could tell you, like, exactly what rank you are in the room of how big your shoe is compared to everybody else. They could tell you how many standard deviations you are away from normal. They could tell you what your R value, there's so many different things they could tell you about it. So these 5 numbers are the first things you do in stats. You feel like you understand these 5 numbers? There's only 2 other things I got to teach you. One of them is range. Now, I guarantee you somebody's going to say, yeah, it ranges from 5 to 14. That's how people say range, but that's not the answer. Does anybody know what the range is? Yes.
It's the maximum minus the minimum.
So what is the answer in this case? 9 is correct. The range is 9. Don't ever say two numbers. Yeah, you get it from two numbers, but the range here is 9 because you go that minus that. R equals 9. Notice the range is not something that is one of the 5 numbers, but it's still important, and you're going to be tested on range. Okay, one more thing. I betcha you'll be able to think this through and figure it out even though I've never told you what it means. Can somebody tell me the interquartile range? Just use logic.
1.5.
It is 1.5. How'd you get it?
It's in between the Q1 and Q3.
That's the cured quartiles. Interquartile means between the two quartiles, and you subtracted them and you got 1.5 and you are right. That's the IQR. Interquartile range is 1.5 because you take this and you subtract it just like the regular range, but it's the range between the quartiles. Okay, cool. Now, we are almost done. I just have to show you how to use your calculator to tell you, do you think you need a calculator to tell you what the smallest number in the group is? No. Do you think you need a calculator to tell you the biggest number in the group? No. Any idiot can look at the list and go, oh, there's the biggest number. Okay? Anybody can do that. But what you can't do, just in your head, is find these three. Q1 and the median and the Q3. Those numbers, you have to have a calculator help you get it. There's actually a math way to do it, but it's really complicated, and we're not going to need to do that. You know that more and more technology is being used in the real world. Pretty soon, instead of even using your calculator, you're just going to go to an AI and say, here's my 5 numbers. Tell me my interquartile range, and it'll be just like, blah. Okay, now, does that mean we're going to stop learning math? Nah, I think math's right there with one of the most important technology things that like get engineers to be engineers, they have to learn some basic math. I don't think you can just be an engineer because you have ChatGPT. Okay, but AI is going to help a lot. All right, so how are we going to get it with this device right here? This calculator, the TI-84. Here we go. I'm going to give you 5 numbers. 10, 12, 13, 17, and 20. I bet you anything that you could tell me the smallest number. And you could tell me the biggest number. And I bet you could even tell me the middle number. What's the middle number? 13. It is as easy as a thing. You just list them from small to big, and the middle one is that one. But the ones you won't be able to get are Q1 and Q3 because they're complicated. So we use a calculator for this. So we put these numbers into a list on our calculator. And this whole topic is called stats. So you want to find the button on your calculator called stat. So this is the part where you are going to need an assistant. The kid next to you, they don't have to be your best friend. But between the two of you, it is extremely likely that one of you is going to understand my directions and be able to get the stuff done on the calculator. And you're going to be able to ask the kid next to you for help. Here's why. Because last hour, I wasted 20 minutes of everybody's time as I was walking around each person who was stuck and telling them, no, you got to hit the stat button again. And if you had a partner who could do that, it would save all of us 20 minutes of work time. Okay? So, these two rows slide next to each other, 6 inches apart. These two rows slide next to each other. Would you stand up? Slide your desk back. Talia, would you stand up to this? Would you take pictures? Picture the cat. There we go. Look how creative this is. Next to each other, 6 inches apart. Slide next to each other, 6 inches apart. All right. I'm telling you, you're going to have work time the other guys didn't. Because why? Because you can ask the kid next to you if you get lost. All right, everybody find the stat button and push it. If you can't find it, it's near the top, kind of in the middle. Now, as soon as you hit stat, the first thing you want to do is edit your list. So do you see edit? Hit enter on edit. Next, what should come up is a set of lists. L1, L2, L3, dot, dot, dot. It keeps going. Every now and then, there's a kid whose L1 list has been deleted, and all you have is L2 and 3 and 4, etc. Is there anybody in here whose L1 is not there? Okay, I want you to look at the kid next to you and make sure they have an L1 list. Maybe they don't know what I'm talking about. Guys all have an L1? Because that's rare. Almost every time when out of 30 people, there's somebody who's deleted it. Okay, good. Then just know that for today, we're not even going to use the other list. It's just L1. Go into the L1 list, and we're going to type in our numbers. 10, 12, and if there's already numbers there, you can just hit the DEL key to delete out the old numbers that were there. 10, 12, 13, 17, and 20. Just so you know, you would not have had to put them in order. The calculator would be able to put them in order for you. You just put them in any order, and you type your numbers into L1. Are you with me so far? Do you have all 5 numbers typed into L1? Okay, now, this is the part where it feels weird. You have to get out of this, and it'll remember these numbers. It won't go away. Hit the stat button again, but this time go to calculate. Stat calc. The top thing under calculate is 1 var stats. Calc 1 var stats. Hit enter on 1 var stats. Now, there is going to be a couple kids that have the old version of the software, and I'm going to walk over and help them personally. Because if you have the old version of the software, it just says 1 var and it doesn't do anything. For everybody else, it says list L1. If yours doesn't say L1 right here, then you have to put it there. Okay? And freak list, you ignore it. We're not going to get freaky. Get what I did there? Freak is supposed to be frequency, of course. But we're just going to ignore that, leave it blank. And then just, if you've got this, you're good. If yours is the old version where it doesn't give you this, if you don't see this, please raise your hand. I personally have to help those 2 or 3 kids. Okay, now for everybody else that has this on your screen. Once you've hit L1 and you leave this blank, if there's a number there, get rid of it. We don't do the freak list. Then you just have to go down and arrow down to where it says calculate. Go on top of this and hit enter, and it will calculate it for you. Now, if you did it right and didn't mess this up, it says X bar equals. What does yours say? 14.4. Can you guys verify you got 14.4? Okay, awesome. Now, there's only a few of these that matter. That one's kind of handy. It's called the average. Take a second and over in your notes, write average. This thing means av. I bet 0 of you knew that. That's X with a bar over it means average. The other ones that are important, you have to actually arrow down quite a bit to see them. The first one is Q1. It's on the list. It has found Q1 for you. So arrow down until you see Q1. And in this case, Sophia, what is Q1 telling you? 11. Can you guys verify 11? Yeah. Okay, good. What's underneath that? Med. What do you think that means? Median, which means middle. So you're right. And what is a median in this case? 13. And the last one's Q3. What is it? 18.5. All right, cool. Then, this is your box plot. Draw it. You now know the smallest number. You can look at the list and know what the smallest number was. If you have to, go back to your list 1. The smallest number goes here. Q1 goes here, and it says that right there. That's 11. The Q3 is 18.5, and the median is 13. you want to be proportional here. Isn't 13 fairly close to 11? So don't just draw the line down the middle. Try to make it proportional. Because 13 is closer to 11 than it is to 18.5. All right? Mr. Nichols, what was our smallest number on our list?
10,
What was our biggest number on our list?
20.
Then that is the 5-number summary. Do you feel like you get it? Let's make sure. Between you and your partner, I want you to make one of these guys for a set of 5 numbers that I give you. Okay? So go to your list 1 right now. We're going to change our root numbers. Go to L1 and put in these 5 numbers. 11, 15, 20, 22, 30. Now that last number at the end got way bigger, but it didn't throw off the middle number. The middle number is 20. Even though I jumped up a lot on that last number, the middle number didn't change. That's why medians are so good. It's because the middle number doesn't get affected by an outlier, really big number in the list. Type those 5 numbers into the list and see if you can make the box plot. If you can, then you totally understand this, and we're ready to do the first couple of homework problems together, and then you're going to have a lot of work time where my last hour had no work time. Partially thanks to the fact you're getting your questions answered to a kid next to you. If you're a little lost, go to Stat, Edit, and just start by typing in L1, typing in these numbers. If you forgot, it's under Stat Calculate. List 1. If you can make the 5 numbers, put them on the box, then you got this, and I can stop teaching. Now, if you're like, I don't want to look back at the list to find the smallest one, it's in the list. It's called min x. And the biggest one is called max x. How many of you are done? Raise your hand if you're done. Okay, awesome. Minimum's 2. Q1 6.5. Median's 15. I don't know where to put that until I put Q3, which is 25. And I know 15 is kind of closer to 25. So I'm putting 15 here. And then the max is 30. Boom. All right. Yes.
I got something else.
I bet you money that you typed one number wrong on your list. Take a second, go back to L1, and just double check your numbers. Because if only one thing is just tweaked a little bit, oh, maybe I typed a number wrong. That's also possible. If you got the same number as your kid next to you, okay, give me a second. I'll look at my list 1. All right, so I'm going back to Stat, Edit, 11. Oh, crap. Yup, I have, right after my 20, I swear I hit 22 and it typed only a 2. Sorry about that. Stat. This is part of the beauty of you having a partner, because then you can look at theirs and go, yeah, it's got to be servers messed up. No, not us. Sorry, I typed one number wrong. All right. So my min and max were probably right, but I bet the middle ones were messed up. Okay, Q1 is 13. Median is 20. 26. 30. Min was 11. Okay, I'm double checking myself. 11, 13, 20, 26, 30. There it is. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, cool. And you were even better than me. And this happens all the time on the test. I swear. On this test, you really ought to double check the numbers on your list. Because look, I'm the math teacher. I swear I hit 22. It only picked up one of the 2s. It's gonna happen to you. So double check your lists if you feel like something's off. All right, now, only last thing I haven't really taught you is this. If you had a 27, let's say this is like scores on a test. Let's say you had a 27. You're in the upper quartile. Get how you're in the top 25%? If you had a 12, you'd be down here in the lower quartile. Do you get that the box is the middle 50%? See, the top 25%'s here. The bottom 25%'s there. This middle area, that's the 50% in the middle. That's where most of us live. In the middle. All right. So that's what that means when they say, what's in the top quartile? That's the top quartile. That's the bottom quartile. All right. There's two more quartiles in the middle, but they together make the middle 50%. Okay, now you got a Schoology quiz. Do the first two problems with the kid next to you, just to make sure you understand all the terms. It's all the terminology, and if you don't know a word like, what does median mean again? Then they can help you. So do problems 1 and 2 together. After that, if you want to separate, totally fine with me. Just do the first two problems of the Schoology quiz. And that's all I got for you for today.